Okay, my talk is about from my experience in teaching climate change in my university. So I will share that my experience with some theories with you today. So the title is like a risk education in climate change, and I'm from Joseon University. Oh, this is my university. This is the main building in the campus at Winter. So this is appointed as a national heritage. So we cannot remodel. We cannot. So it's only painting is white. So and the mountain behind this main building is one of the big mountain in Korea. So the height is like 1187, because there is a bus 1187. That's why I remember the height of this mountain, Mudung Mountain. Okay, so I want to show my university campus. Okay, when I use a keyword like climate change at Google, you can see these pictures. Okay, so you can see like this one is very popular one, like a clean one, and it's a very hot one, a mild weather and hot weather. And you can see this is a very famous picture, and the bear on ice, and this is a very dry one. So and some like graph which is going to be very hot in weather. So this is a very like common images when I use the word of climate change. When I use the word of a climate crisis, I can see these pictures. There's some a little change is there is a fire on the earth. The fire on the top or on the bottom. Anyway, fire on the earth. And the earth is on our hand, and the big one is, actually this bear is very skinny. Anyway, this bear is different from the one in the form of slide, okay? And the other one is maybe the money. We cannot see this image as well when I use the keyword like climate change, but when I use the climate crisis, the money is related, I think. And this is one of the another picture, another photo where the people are at a strike or like a civic engagement, whatever. Anyway, the people are moving. So when I use the keyword of a climate crisis, I can see this one. And the climate justice. Anyway, so this is like a more civic engagement, civic people, the movement, people at strike. Okay. So this is what I did before this preparing these presentations, and this is another one which I just have taught climate change classes to my student at my university, because I belong to Earth Science Education Department. So I'm teaching climate change classes to students at sophomore, like a second grade, the sophomore students. So this is what I have done before. Actually, just I changed it. I changed these courses with the risk. But before then, just I teach only like knowledge mainly. So this is about just like a basic scientific principle, like a science concept about the global warming, like El Nino, and just about the content, basic knowledge about the atmosphere. Okay, what makes global warming, such as. And this is another one, just I'm teaching also like what makes global warming, climate change, like artificial reason, like a human made, or like a nature reasons like precession, or other reasons, which is called like a Milankovitch cycle. Okay, so this is a more focus on knowledge. And I'm teaching also like climate forcing, so like the positive climate forcing and the negative climate forcing. And this is about the current, ocean current. So maybe you can, some of you just might have seen this, watched this movie like Tomorrow. So it was released at 2004, I think. So that is a disaster movie where the ocean current had stopped because of the climate change. So anyway, just I'm more teaching like this content. So when I teach climate change courses. But like 5 years ago, just I felt when I teach my pre-sub teachers to be science teachers in the future, just I want them to teach climate change more seriously. That's what I felt like actually 5 years ago. So I tried to change my courses to be more seriously in content, serious content. So after then, actually before I know the risk in education, risk in research, just I try to change some contents when I teaching like climate change courses. So I changed the title of the courses like to climate crisis and the Earth system. So I use the slide, usually graph or table without the text. So you can see like this one. So maybe some of them, okay, this is what we see the change in ocean, why the ocean is changing. There is ocean ecology, like ecology is in danger, so why? Okay, this is what we felt about climate change, climate crisis in our daily life. So anyway, just I try to teach climate change, climate crisis connected into our lives. So what kind of impact we are getting, good one or bad one. So bad one mainly, but some of them, if I make a process like to my students, okay, what is good in your life due to the climate change? Okay, I can eat pineapple, I can eat banana, okay, like a tropical fruit. That's one of them. So nothing else, just like a bad one in our daily life. So why? This is 2019. There is a big wildfire in Australia 2019. So many animals just died because of the wildlife, and the ocean ecology is very changing right now, and the sea level rise is very serious right now. Okay, this is another one. So why we have a heat wave, cold wave, actually heat wave this summer. This summer, I think like for 3 months, usually the Celsius temperature is over 30 for 3 months, I think. And the tropical night is like, I think the two months, I think, this year. It's pretty severe when compared to the other years. So this is very serious. So I'm teaching students why we have a heat wave this summer. Okay, so students must know why we have a heat wave and what kind of consequences we have in our life from this heat wave. What kind of our life is changing from heat wave. So they have to understand the reason why we have a heat wave. So I try to train my students to explain this, why we have a heat wave. This is another one. And I'm telling them Earth have the Earth right now, the health is very serious condition. Out of nine condition, the 6 is very like a bad one right now. It's not, we cannot cure in 6 perspective anyway. So, and I showed by using the data from the portal, I'm just telling them just our Korea climate is changing. So I let them students to choose their community to see what happened in temperature, in precipitation, like in 50 years. So they are just them doing like a data representation. Okay, this is keep going, yeah. So I'm using the IPCC report because there are many warning messages from the IPCC report. So I'm using that report to teach this climate crisis courses to my students. So this is what I'm doing right now. So I try to include the fact from the IPCC report, what kind of fact we face. But those facts is almost a warning on the basis of the evidence from the science concept. So when I just, actually before I just telling my students like this about the sea level rise, okay, sea level rise are rising due to climate change, melting glaciers and the expansion of seawater as it warms are the main cause. Scientists predict sea levels will continue to rise through the 21st century. This is what I did so far. But what I'm doing right now, okay, sea levels are rising due to climate change. And if they rise by about 1 meter this century, many coastal cities, including some in our country, could experience regular flooding. This means homes, school, and fresh water supplies could be lost. Why scientists are certain sea levels will rise, the exact amount depends on how much greenhouse gas is emitted. By strengthening coastal defense and reducing emission, communities can reduce this risk and protect their value. This is what I'm doing with the same content of sea level rise. So when we compare these two color text, the orange one and the green one, just I'm delivering the fact only in the orange one, but I'm delivering more than fact in the green part. So I'm actually before knowing the risk in climate change education, just I try to just make the students more feel serious in climate change. So like a risk with the severity, uncertainty, personal consequence, and the action. Those are included in this green part. So technology and science affect our lives, and we including us and many our students must know how to face this risk, because we are all everybody is exposed to those risks in our lives. So risk is from like a science and technology development. So we needed to face risk, we needed to avoid risk. So we needed to have ability, competencies to make the decision, so which is called like a risk decisions. And the citizen, as well as the students, citizens also should have the ability to reasonably respond to those risks, and they needed to have interest in solving these problems and able to actively participate and act to solve them. Okay, so scientific leaders, I can call these scientific leaders too. Okay, maybe we can call climate change leaders too. But the issue is we needed to train students in the classroom or out of the classroom. We needed to train the students or educate a citizen to be more rational decision. So more or less rational decision, which means they needed to know which one is right or wrong, and they needed to make an action to solve the issues, to solve the problem. Actually, risk society was proposed by German sociologist Beck, and just right now we, in our society, in our education, everywhere is a risk. So in education, science education, there is issues like a social scientific issue. This is very these issues has many like risks there. So social scientific issues is very good to teach risks. So we have so many social scientific issues. So this one, like including risk assessment, risk management, risk decision making, so can help understand the complexity of social scientific issues based on the risk issues and provide more information for the decision making. So now I want to just like introduce what kind of risk in climate change education from my perspective, okay? Because I belong to earth science education and my background is earth science, so I just touch the climate change issues first rather than the other social scientific issues. So I used to Schenk and argue that risk should be dealt with science education with the seven different components, like knowledge, consequences, uncertainty, probability, severity, activity, and the value. Action, activity is a very action. So now I want to share what I have done with these 7 elements. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing this, my research is everything is connected to the practices by teachers in the classroom. So based on this research, maybe I will just develop the program about the climate changes with the risk. Then I will have like a professional development program so that the earth science teachers as well as the other like science teachers could have a confidence in teaching climate change with the risk. So anyway, so teachers play a very like a critical role in the classroom when they teach in climate change. So and my research question is okay, what kind of elements, how can we define risks in climate change education? And the second one, because I'm teaching like a pre-sub teachers right now, I want them to be prepared with these competencies before just moving to the classroom. So I work with these 7 elements with my students right now. So I want to share those elements those researches right now. This is what I have done. So first one, just I developed. I have 7 elements about climate change's definition, and the second one, with this 7 elements, I employed those tools to analyze what kind of climate change's risks are included in 2015 science curriculum, revised science curriculum, and 2022. I expected there are some change, even though the textbook writer didn't know risk. I expect, because 2022 text science textbook might be better. The better means I hope to find more risk education climate change content when compared to that of 2015. So I just analyzed some science textbook from 2015 science curriculum and the 2022, which is released just now. And I want to compare, and I want to just find out what kind of risks are there and what kind of elements are changing in 2022. And lastly, just I work with my pre-sub teachers, and I want them to be familiar with the write down some like discipline or like a program about the social scientific issues. So I let them just write down any social scientific issues program. If you are exposed to teach social scientific issues, okay, what kind of content do you teach? This is what I have done. This is 7 elements of risk in science in climate change education. So knowledge, uncertainty, consequences, severity, activity, value, and the probability. So if you know more about this, maybe you can just find my published paper. And this is what I have done. I'm using the like a content of climate change and the renewable energy and the natural disaster. This is the 3 topics which I focus on in analyzing content to see what kind of risk elements there are. So this is what I did. Actually, these 2 students are just talking about the natural disaster, about the rainfall. So in Korea, every summer, a lot of rain causes flooding, and there are some typhoons. So this is very impact on our daily life. And how can we do? Anyway, typhoon damage crops and ships and fishy farms. So sometimes destroy the road and various facilities by causing flood and landslide. So they are talking about this. So there is like climate change consequences and severity. So this is how I analyzed those science activity in science textbook. And this is another one. So this is what I found is like activity, how just people, how the government can do that to prevent the natural disaster. So there is some action with some value. This is 4 different experts about nuclear energy, nuclear power plant, solar energy, okay, renewable energy, so wind power energy. So students play different 4 roles to make a discussion what kind of energy is preferred in Korea, and what is a good one and what is a bad one. So they are just share the opinion. So there is some knowledge and there are some value about risk education. This is another one. This is about a scenario from IPCC. But anyway, this is in Earth Science for the second. This is like a sophomore grade. So students discuss, okay, what scenario will impact on our daily life. Okay, what kind of impact in our ecology, in our environment, in our climate. So they discuss what would happen in 2030, in 2050, in 2100. So they discuss about this. So this is more risks, like uncertainty, probability, as well as knowledge and consequences. This is about the El Nino. It's El Nino and La Nina. So this is a two graph, and there is like a sea level, like a temperature deviation. So students know, okay, what kind of a trend, what kind of a patterns they can find from these 2 graphs. So anyway, I can find the risk items like a probability, value, severity, and uncertainty of a risk education. So when I just analyze and if I just present the result, anyway, just knowledge, and if in high school textbook, the consequences is very high. So if you see the green one is a high school like a second grade, and the blue one is for middle school. You better not compare these three different color. You just compare the relatively the same color. So when we see these 7 different items, we can see like uncertainty and severity and value pretty low ranked. But we have many knowledge, and we have enough consequences activity and some probability. Anyway, from analyze, I found the consequences and severity are very related. Uncertainty and the probability are very related. Activity and the value are very related. That's what I found from my analyze. When I move to the 2022, it's the same. But when I see when I compare the quantity of frequency, the 2022 is low in quantity because there are big changes in textbook, because we don't have Earth Science 1 and 2 actually in 2015, but not anymore, because we have a climate change and ecosystem such as, right? And so I don't provide the result from the middle school because we don't have any textbook right now for middle school right now. So anyway, what I found is actual climate change concept is introduced from grade 3 and 4. This is a very good sign, okay? From the elementary, this is a good sign. And the value and activity is pretty low right now because integrated science, 통합과학, is divided into 2, right? In the second one is a pretty experiments, right? So experiments, we cannot, we don't have many value and activity right there. So anyway, there is a reason why we have a lower and lower end activity and value. So I can see there's this network. That is knowledge, activity, and value are related. The other two, probability and uncertainty, are related, and the severity and the consequences are related. So I cannot say 2022 is better than 2015. I cannot say right now. Maybe I needed to more analyzing, but the consequences and severity are related. Knowledge and probability are related, and activity, it's pretty low, but the value are related. So when I develop the program, I might use this relationship with the knowledge. And when I just work with my pre-subs teachers, they just developed the 9 different SSI program. But anyway, I can find 7 different elements of a risk in their scenario about SSI. I'm happy. I was happy to see them, but they don't know what is a risk. Okay, so if I just teach more risks explicitly, they might know better about the climate change, about the social scientific issues, and they might better teaching in their teaching. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm just developing survey on the basis of this result, because I want to know how the pre-subs teachers and subs teachers respond to those risks in climate change. If I found if there are some low rank in any element from 7 elements, maybe I might use I'm developing the program right now, so I might use this part for the teachers, for pre-subs teachers and subs teachers to know better about these risks in climate change. So I'm developing those programs right now. So maybe I might use this program as prescriptions according to their responses in their survey. So this is what I'm doing. Anyway, the risk education purpose is to equip students and the teachers with a competency to perceive risk components of climate changes to be rational decision maker in teaching or in their learning. So it's very urgent for me as an educator to train the teachers to know better about the risks in climate change right now. So maybe in second part, as a conclusion and implications, just I'm developing the survey, and the teachers will use the survey, and I will have a more explicit and more detailed prescriptions for them to know better about the risk in climate change. So anyway, I want to have a program to make the teachers to be more expert in teaching climate change. So this is a way, opportunity, but another challenging. Okay, thank you.